allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That this meeting has been properly.
Yes, Chairman, it has. Mr. Davis.
Here.
Mr. DeWise. Ms. Fisher.
Here.
Mr. Grillo.
Here.
Mr. Parikh.
Here.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We have the minutes from the February 13th, 2025 meeting. Everybody has gotten a copy of those. Are there any reasons for modification, edits to that, to those minutes? If not, can I get a motion and a second for approval?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Attorney's report?
Thank you, Chairman. Earlier in the month, we had our quarterly BDA meeting. I know it's part of the executive director's report. I don't want to belabor it, but we had a full house for the meeting and went over the scope of the remediation that's been ongoing. And it's pretty phenomenal what has been done and how close to the end of that process that they are. And I'll leave the balance up to the executive director or Zach to report on it.
Engineers report, David
Justin.
or Justin?
Just, our office has been working. Our office has been working on the Main Street speed study reduction report. We expect to have that completed sometime next week. We requested traffic reports from the Sera Police Department, so we're utilizing those in addition to looking into traffic calming methods that we will send to this board and then to the county. That's all.
Thank you, Justin. Executive director's report?
Thank you, Chairman. Executive Director's Report for March 13, 2025. Item number 1, Riverton Project Update. Progress at the Riverton site continues to advance as key redevelopment milestones are met. On February 25th, Sera attended the quarterly Brownfield Development Area BDA Steering Committee meeting where updates on environmental remediation efforts were discussed. Significant progress has been achieved on parcel B and C with an ongoing remediation work bringing this section closer to being fully remediated. And in fact, I got another email today I'll share with the commissioner as I normally do from their environmental expert. Item number 2, area need of redevelopment recommendation. Sera's planning team has developed a structured timeline for presenting all pending area in need of redevelopment A&R studies to the Sherville Planning Board. The planner has worked, Bina has worked closely with the planning board to ensure their streamlined and efficient review process. The first presentation will be focused on the former JCP&L site at the River Road. It's scheduled to take place in coming weeks. There will be this will be followed by Main Street and Crossman Road area, the Route 9 and Unston Road area, and the former Sunshine Biscuit site. Now, JCP&L is, I believe it's slated for April 2nd meeting as being advertised. And then we're looking at the other 2 simultaneously presented in May to the planning board, and that should complete our initial work. Sunshine Biscuit is going to be followed that. There are some open question that is, if that's completed, then we'll address the Sunshine Biscuit site. Item number 3, Main Street Downtown Revitalization. Efforts to revitalize Serville's Main Street Downtown District have continued with the recent distribution of outreach letter to property and business owner in the area. These letters outline the overreaching goals of revitalization initiative and invited stakeholders to participate in shaping the future of the district. The response from community has been encouraging with initial feedback highlights both support and valuable input regarding potential improvements. Sera will begin scheduled meeting with the property and business owners later this month to facilitate further discussion, gather information insight, and ensure alignment with the borough's vision for economic and commercial development. This engagement will help inform next steps, including potential and infrastructure enhancement and Business Support Initiative aimed at fostering vibrant Main Street. Item number 4, NJTPA FTA Study Grant. NJTPA has accepted and added the Riverton Parcel B and C Connection Road to the Transportation Improvement Plan. This will bring us a step closer to receive the funds from Federal Transit Administration Grant Study, the connections. This just came in, it was an initial report. We just, about 5 o'clock today, we got an email from them that, they have approved this. But I just don't want to get our hopes too high because it's still federal grants. All federal grants are currently on hold. Although there are some litigation that looks like it's gonna come back, but I don't know when it is actually the final award will take and we'll be able to spend the money. But at least we have completed all the work that we need to do in filing an application, which was a long, lengthy, and arduous steps. That concludes my report, Chairman.
Any questions or comments for our executive director?
Control, huh?
Yeah.
It's on, I don't know why. Okay.
Questions or comments? If not, Vina, we didn't put a section in here for planners report. So how about, is there anything you'd like to report as far as your
Sure,
efforts?
I think Himanshu has already covered, but I did finish the Farmer Sunshine Biscuits area investigation study. It was already circulated. I am working on their redevelopment plan, but because I have other study areas that are in the pipeline, my focus now is on the JCP&L site first. And once that is done, I have Main Street and Crossman, and then the Ernston Road study area that are in the pipeline. So in terms of redevelopment studies and plans, I have a schedule. I've shared that with Himanshu and John, and I'm working on those studies and plans simultaneously. When the planning board is ready to hear them, I'm ready. So,
Thank you, Vina.
no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, the focus has changed from Sunshine Biscuit to now the River Road project, JCP&L site, and then those two areas that we already have, recommended. So thank you.
Right, so
Thank you.
I am working on the JCP&L site for now. I'm hoping to have that for the April 2nd, but I wanted the notices to go out because there are stringent requirements in terms of noticing. So at least I wanted the notice to go out, and I will try my best to have it done for
Can
April
you
2nd.
just, for everybody's benefit, can you repeat the steps that will ultimately put this, to conclusion?
Sure. So basically, there are multiple steps. When a redeveloper comes in and makes a presentation in front of Sera, Sera passes a resolution requesting the council, because the actual study is initiated by the council and conducted by the planning board. So once Sera passes a resolution and they think that they can support redevelopment, it goes to the council. The council then passes a resolution authorizing the planning board to in turn authorize the planner to undertake a study. Then the planner goes through, the planning board hears the resolution, they pass and authorize the planner to conduct the study. Then that's when I come into picture. I go and do a thorough analysis of the study based on the local housing and redevelopment law, and prepare a report for each of the site assigning criterias. And then I go and present the study at a public hearing. If the planning board agrees with the recommendations or my conclusions, they pass a resolution requesting the council to designate the area as an area in need of redevelopment. So in short, the authority lies with the council. The council then designates the area as an area in need of redevelopment. Once the council authorizes it, a copy of the ordinance is submitted, or the area designation is submitted to DCA. Subsequently, the planner is then directed by the council to create a redevelopment plan. And the redevelopment plan is nothing but the new ordinance, or it lays the foundation of the zoning or what is built in that area. The redevelopment plan is presented to the council. The council, like any other ordinance, there is a discussion, first reading, second reading. After the second reading, which is your public hearing, 20 days past that, the plan becomes an ordinance and it is ineffective. So that's when a developer can come in and file an application and proceed with the planning board. So there are multiple steps. I think I've memorized it by now after doing so many of them. But yes, so the deadlines that I had assigned are also based on these steps. And I think the plan is to have Ernston Road and Main Street Crossman in May.
That's going to be your reputation of being such a business friend mistake. Thank you, Dina, for that reputation.
Yes.
I mean, it's good that we're just dealing with redevelopment when you, Anthony and I have been facing affordable housing when it becomes much more interesting.
We've been dealing with that too.
Yes, I've heard stories.
Thank you, Vina. Any questions for Vina before we move on? If not, we have authorization.
One last thing, I have been working very closely with all the departments in Sayreville, including Justin. His input is valuable. I don't want to write something in this study which he doesn't agree to. So once my study is done, I typically send it to Justin to take a look, especially for the engineering and the roadway improvements part. So yes, all the departments have been kept in loop.
Including Commissioner's name.
Have they all been responsive?
Yes, actually, after the first one and after you have spoken to them, it has made a huge difference.
We just like to keep moving forward.
Yes.
Authorization for payment of bills. We have a total amount 62,785.68, which breaks down to operating total 49,580.68, and escrow 13,205 even. Any questions or comments with regard to payment of bills? And if not, can I get a motion to?
I would make a motion to pay all the bills.
We get a motion in a second? Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott? Councilman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
On to commissioners' comments, and before we get into that, Kevin, just a real quick question for you. I know that we were looking forward to a second podcast where all our commissioners are going to have a little bit of an opportunity to say hello and express themselves and identify themselves. Are we on? Do we have a schedule for that yet?
I spoke about earlier today, and we're working on putting together, schedule together all of the share availability, and we'll record when that is, hopefully at the end of the month.
Very good. Anything else in the works besides, you had a lot on your plate with this presentation. Sounds good.
You know, our podcasting setup now, equipment and everything, Kevin did we did it. Kevin actually put together all the lists we purchased and everything. Is now you did the excellent podcast, and now our mayor has used that. So we're really getting used the equipment. Yeah.
Right. Commissioners' comments? Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, one thing, this is a follow-up from the last meeting. If you remember, I discussed that there was the traffic pain points study that it was being conducted by the municipal planner. And I reviewed the draft with them just prior to our last meeting, so a month ago. We had asked them to go back and look at 3 intersections on Bordentown. So they should have that completed prior to our April meeting. So it's up to you guys if you want to have them present that or just submit it. But it should be ready by then. So just you tell me on the timing and the agenda.
If it's ready in enough time for us to take a look at, I think it would be great to have them actually present.
Okay. So I was quarterbacking that with them, so I'll handle it.
Yeah, let's get the study, when he's finished, he brings the I'm sorry, when he finishes his study, let's bring it to us. And then certainly in April meeting, we'll add it on the agenda for them to come here and present.
Thank you.
And Justin or David, I know you mentioned at the last meeting, the widening of Main Street down by Crosman, is that a county project?
Yes.
Was that generated as a result of any of the
That's
development?
been in the works
It's
for
been in the
years.
works.
It's actually under construction now. I expect them out there in June.
So how will that work? Will there be two lanes on both?
Yes, there will be 2 lanes that narrow down to 1.
Any other comments, questions, concerns from our commissioners? Otherwise,
And John,
yep.
remember that once the Crosman site goes through and gets done, you're going to have, at least on the eastbound side, another lane, because they're required to widen the whole thing and required to widen the culvert that goes under the Birch Street there.
So, okay, because now I'm confused a little bit. So is it 2 lanes just going eastbound and 1 lane going westbound, or is it going to be 2 on each westbound and
Well,
eastbound?
from the standpoint of the Crosman site, there's going to be 2 lanes going eastbound. Okay, there already is a widened area in front of the Main Street Townhouse development. It's just used as a shoulder. There is the potential that could be made another lane, but I'm not sure that it's warranted yet. That's something that we'll deal with as we go through time, because the big problem is if we have 2 lanes coming into 1 lane, when we get into the area where the Sunglow Bakery was, that's going to be a problem. So it may be that one area in front of the Main Street Townhouses should remain heading westbound, 1 lane. But those are things that I think we're going to have to monitor. Whatever we can get the road widened, we've been trying to make that road wide.
I think it'll be very helpful down there, without a doubt.
I actually have a question about that. So I live near that intersection, near White Oak. There's an abandoned bus stop there, right? Because there's no Main Street bus service anymore. I guess this is a question for my local elected official, Mr. Zabrowski. I have a citizen's complaint I'd like to bring up. There's no more bus service on Main Street, as I recall, but there is a bus shelter and it's decrepit. And then there's people use it actually to sell old cars. They'll park a car there with a for sale sign. Is there any way that the town could get that bus shelter removed? It has broken glass and all the rest of it, and then maybe pave that over and make it look a little bit better?
Do we?
Shelter.
One, it's county right away, okay? The town can request the county to go through, request permission from the county to do it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to just pave that area.
Anything would be better. Clean it. I mean,
it's
it's,
just kind of, but taking it down would be appropriate if it's not being utilized.
I don't think it's been used in 5 years. I think
Yeah.
bus service stopped with COVID.
Is that the same thing for the one that's further down the road too, that's in front of Main? There's 2 of them, and they're both in terrible.
I'm only thinking of one as you crest the hill.
Right, that's terrible. And then the one as you go down, if you're going westbound, actually it's where the old spring used to be.
Yeah.
And that's horribly maintained as well.
I'm not remembering where that one is.
It's directly across from that main entrance, which has got to be one of the.
Well, that's along the Crosman frontage. So when the Crosman site gets developed, the developer's gonna have to take it down because he's got to widen the road. So the question is, if you want to get rid of it now, you probably have to pay for it yourself, request the county permission to take it down, okay? But it's gonna come down in short order once he goes through and processes his final plans.
The one Steve's talking about would not be impacted.
That's correct.
Okay, so we.
If you want my vote, Zabrowski, I want to see results. I want that bus shelter down.
Pressure's on now. But I
Justin,
think
take a look at them and let's talk about it in the office.
they are in order.
It's terrible.
They really are. They're a very poor representation. Any other questions or comments from our chair, from our commission? If not, can I get a motion to open to public portion?
Make a motion open public.
We have a second?
Second.
Need roll call? No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? To help keep this meeting as organized as possible, we ask members of the public to approach, state your name, and strive to limit your comment to 3 minutes. All comments this evening should refer to redevelopment and agenda items and be based upon NJSA 10:4-12A and the Saraville Economic and Redevelopment Agency rules. In the event a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made during regular business hours with the agency's office. Thank you.
Anybody from the public that would like to speak? Anybody from the public that would like to speak? Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak? Seeing no one, can I get a motion to close the public portion?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
With that, can I get a motion for an adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody.
Enjoy.